I want to just kind of address like that larger thing, especially as it pertains to video games. And what always seems to come up when I'm having debates with people about the content that's in video games is video games didn't create this kind of, violence as entertainment. It didn't even start in movies. Let's go back to the Iliad, okay? So Hector, the great Trojan warrior, gets killed, and then Achilles ties him to the back of a chariot and does laps around the city of Troy, taunting them by showing their, humiliating their dead hero. You go to Shakespeare, Titus Andronicus, Macbeth, Hamlet, the plays of John Webster, like The Duchess of Malfi, horrifically violent, actually with content that you really wouldn't find even acceptable in a film. Trust me, Titus Andronicus, I saw the movie. There's a reason it's an art movie made for foreigners. And even in the way that it was represented on the stage in Elizabethan times, they didn't have special effects wizards. So for blood, they used blood, usually taken from a pig or a goat or some other animal, and they just kind of dumped it. And they had this sort of high level of violence in the video games because the same stages that the plays were being shown at were also their blood sports, like, someone fighting a bear or a dog fighting, an antelope. I have no idea. Anyway, it was really bloody. And so economically, they had to kind of compete with these very popular blood sports by, adding that level of blood into the drama. And they got away with doing comedy, so there's so much like sexual innuendo. It definitely got people titillated. Sex and violence have been the cornerstone for entertainment for centuries, and they also happen to allow for great and amazing art to be created. So bringing that into the modern time, I do recognize that there seems to be a higher level of violence sort of in our video games. We have two examples that are behind us. Back in the early 90s when Tarantino was first coming on board, there was a large increase in violence. I also, if you look at comic books in the late 80s, around the time of The Dark Knight, we saw a lot more adult material. Why does this seem to happen? Well, I don't want to be a sociologist, but they do seem to always coincide with times of great anxiety in society. There was a recession back then, there's a recession now. And especially when it comes to video games, it's so based in kind of wish fulfillment or that desire for that sense of fantasy. I have no desire to want to shoot a gun in public. I can, see what it's like to shoot a gun in public by, playing, some of these video games. And